That's right.
Hi, is Mr. Pottery there, please?
Yes, Mr. Dutchy speaking.
Oh, hi there. Can I speak to you about... You put a letter through our door. Can I speak to you about it, please?
Yes, certainly. What's the name on the letter, please?
Well, I'll come into that in a second, but I just wanted to check something with you, because the amount on the letter you put through is a lot different to the amount that was originally owed.
Well, yes, it will be. If you look at the reverse of the letter, it'll give the tariffs for the various stages of enforcement. If you've had a letter from our office, I think that's all the three sent out prior to an enforcement visit being instructed. At that point, there's a £75 for basic handling charge from Phoenix. That on the three letters gives you a chance to settle the account. If it's not settled, it does advise you that if it moves to enforcement stage, a further charge of £235 is applied. Now these charges are generic and set by the courts and the government, not set by the individual companies.
Right.
That's been the case since April last year. There was basically a full enforcement reform. A new bill came in from Parliament, which was introduced in April 2014.
Oh, new bill, is it? All right. Thing is, so let me get this right. So it's the council tax, you see. So let me just get this right in my head. So the liability order's done for a certain amount.
Yes, you have your original debt, obviously, from the council. What you owe to the council. If that's not settled with the council, they will charge you for the court fee, which is for the liability order.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously that will be then added on. Further to that, when it arrives with the enforcement company, a charge will be made for £75 for us to process it and issue a letter to you.
Right.
On the well, that's it. Legally, we only have to send one. We do send three as a rule of thumb.
So three what? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Three.
Sorry, we tend to send three letters instead of one. There's only one charge, obviously.
Three letters before you come out. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. There's at least two. Some have three, some have two, depending. I don't know what the criteria is with the office for that, but I mean legally we have to send one. Okay, a company will have to send one before they.
Fair enough. Yeah. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Right. Yeah. No, I understand that. No, the thing is that the amount from the originally amount that we owed, or supposedly owed, and the difference, the figure you put on here, it's £1,100 difference.
1,100.
Yeah.
Well, that's something you will need to speak to the council about. We just get all we get is obviously the amount that's owed, including the liability order cost, the date of the liability order, the name or names liable, and the address to go to. That's in a nutshell. That's all we get. I think is it Calderdale? What is it?
Calderdale or Kirklees. Hold on, I'll just check.
You'll be Calderdale. We don't do Kirklees.
Yeah, Calderdale.
Yeah.
We've moved to Kirklees, that's all it is. Right, so the thing is, I think there's either been some kind of mistake or there's some kind of jiggery poker going on. I need to get a look at the original liability order.
Let me just pull over. I'll take the reference number. I'll look for you.
Well, it's all right, mate. I'm not going to give you any information just now until I get a bit more information to back up the case. I mean, I was told I phoned up your head office and they said that you would have a copy of the original liability order on you.
No. We don't receive the council's keep the liability orders. I don't know why they told you that.
I spoke to your head office and they said that you should have a copy of that.
No. We have copies of date. Enforcement companies do not receive copies of the liability order. The council, well, when you speak to the council, they'll obviously confirm that the council retains the liability order.
Oh, so what information do you get? Do you just get a figure on a piece of paper, do you?
They send referrals to us en masse. Each council we deal with, they'll refer cases over after it's been to court. Okay, so yours may be for current. Do you know if this is for current year, 15 to 16?
I think it's last year, but what I'm just trying to determine, mate, is what information do they send you? Do they send you the liability order, or do they ever send you?
No, all they send us is the date of the liability order, the date of the court.
The date of liability order. And where do you get the figure from to collect?
They send us the figure, Okay, so what they send over, I mean, I don't actually physically see referrals that's done by the office and
Yeah.
the agent and bailiff, yeah.
Yeah.
But I can understand that they come over with obviously the people's name and address of person or persons liable, named on the liability order, the date of the liability order, the amount outstanding. Usually we get the period it relates to. With Calderdale, I don't see. I've only ever seen a referral with the to from date on from Calderdale.
Yeah, no, what I'm trying to just determine is at which point has this got increased? Have you increased it, or has the council increased it?
No,
I mean, I'm not I'm not laying any blame. It's just that I need to find out because, and you know, if the figure, excuse me.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
The only increase that would be made now would be a total of £310, which is £75 initial charge.
Right.
If it's gone to enforcement, 235, total of 310. So if you take 310 off the total that's on the letter, that is what the council will have referred to us.
Right. So you've added your charges on. Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm just wondering though, because it's up so much, because it's been to a bailiff prior to that. Could that be why?
No, you never charge twice. So say it's gone to, I don't know, say Rosendale, who's had it before us, and they've levied charges. When they return the case, those charges are deducted from the account. You will never ever be charged like a cumulative enforcement sum, if you like. So
the thing with that is, buddy, is that we've been avoiding paying this for a while because we're peace activists, and we're not, we've been not paying it for 18 months now, and we've watched the charge go up from about 600 quid to, every time we get another letter it goes up a bit more. It's almost touching £2,000 now.
It could be that it's a different account. It could be that you've had more accounts which they've consolidated.
Well, no.
There could be a number. I mean, what I'm saying to you is, the count, in a nutshell, Phoenix in general cannot answer that question. The council will be the people to speak to regarding the amount outstanding. Yeah,
that's great. So what I'm just going to do, or do you reckon this is okay? If I get a copy of the original liability order, and that's for 600 quid, yeah, and you're charging nearly 2,000.
We wouldn't charge.
Well, no, but if sorry, not charge, collecting. Sorry, so. So then someone's playing silly buggers that somewhere down the line. I'm not saying it's you, but do you think that'd be the council? Do you think that'd be the council trying it on, or do you think that'd be is that a bailiff?
If I had to hedge my bet, I would say it was a different account, a different period.
No, because we've moved, you see. So
yeah, but no, what I'm saying is things tend to we don't get everything together from accounts. They basically drip feed us accounts. Councils, they have their own way of working, but generally speaking, we still get drip fed accounts from the council. They will make, it could be that there's a query on one. I mean, just a lot of the time we'll get a newer account before we'll get an older account. There doesn't seem to be any logical pattern to, referrals.
Oh, and then you add them together, do you then? You'll add them together at the same time?
Say again?
So you might get two from the same person at the same address, and you'll add them together?
Yeah, sometimes we'll get 3 or 4 if it's outstanding. Sometimes if there's 3 or 4 outstanding, we'll get maybe 2, then another one 6 months later, another one a few months later. How
does that work with regards to a warrant? And do you just use one warrant, or do you use three separate ones?
That's down to the council. Councils, generally speaking, will go, say financial year's outstanding is not paid, they'll go one liability order per period. What I've noticed with Calderdale, sometimes they'll group them. So say you have 3 years outstanding, they'll go to court and get one liability order for 3 periods outstanding, which works out in your favour, and in fact you only get charged for one liability order.
Yeah, that's pretty nice of them, that, yeah.
In general, it tends to be one liability order per period.
Right, okay, no, that's great, and appreciate your help now. So the thing is then, I just need to see what the paperwork is from the council, don't I? So I need to speak to them, and I'll check out.
Yeah, you need to obviously sort of get an anomaly with them. As I say, if I had to put a mortgage on it, I would say it was for a different period. Because if you've got a liability order, they cannot go back and adjust that liability order. They have to get a different liability order. So once they've registered a debt for a certain period, a certain time, at a certain amount, they cannot go back after that's been grant because it's basically sacrosanct. You know, it's been checked, the I's are being dotted, the T's are being crossed. If they want any, I mean, sometimes they are adjusted in ignorance of a fact.
Well, this
can be adjusted in ignorance of a fact. What your circumstance, plus or minus.
That's why I raised the query, because it's my understanding that, you know, court documents, you can't really mess with them, can you? You know what I mean? It's what they are.
Not the council. No, if it's the council's fault, no. But if they were in ignorance of a fact, so for argument's sake, say 12 months. So you have a 12-month period there. You and your partner were unemployed for 6 months now. Okay, so by right you pay half plus your liability on it. If they then find out that, say, only one of you are unemployed and the council tax benefit you got should have been reduced, in effect, increasing the amount, they can adjust it that way because it's the onus on yourself to provide them with that information. So they could do what's called a plus adjustment on a liability order because they were in ignorance of the fact. Well, if you'd already told them that, and that basically they ballsed it up, that as far as I understand, they cannot adjust it then.
Right, yeah. I'm guessing that if they didn't know something like you weren't living there or something, they could reduce it down.
Whatever the reason, you know, I'm just plucking a circumstance out the air, you know.
Yeah.
Again, I'm basically, you know, it could be one of.
Yeah, no, well that's right. I appreciate you being helpful with this. But now, so that it boils down to this. And what paperwork would you hold? And can I have a look at it? Could I meet you up and see your paperwork?
I don't hold anything. All the information I have is on an iPad. And as I say, the iPad just contains the name and address of the person's liable, the property it refers to, the date of the liability order, and the amount outstanding, and you know a listed chronological history of what's gone on before, including any conversations that need any adjustments.
Yeah, but if I can have a look at the warrant, then I can see who signed it, and I can go back to them and ask them why they signed it that way, can't I?
If it's council tax, it's not warranted to liability order, as you said before. You would need to apply to the court for that, I would imagine. So whatever court, I don't know where the court is in Calderdale. So
no, but you must have something to say that you can come and collect this money, or or anybody could just print off something and go to anyone's house, couldn't they?
Personally, I have a bailiff's license, which is issued by a court every 2 years. That's the thing that entitles me to come and collect the money. But regarding the council, we have our company has authority contractually with.
No, but what is this to stop? Say, I'm not saying you are, but it's my understanding there's got to be someone who's signed it, or else. I'm not saying you would, but you could falsify the amount and collect a different amount, couldn't you? I'm not saying you would, but you could, and there's got to be some kind of remedy in law to stop that happening.
No, we couldn't, because if the council are linked to every council that an enforcement company uses are linked to each other's computers via a website. It's called client web, okay, and anything that appears. So if you make a payment on an account, that will automatically appear on the council computer via the client web. Okay, so there's numerous. Believe me, there's so many checks both ways. And the council.
Yeah, well, with respect, mate, because you seem like a decent guy. I'm not just going to believe you, am I? That's what a criminal would say before he breaks into your house.
Again, this is something you can verify, and you need to verify with the council themselves.
Right. So what if the figure is different to what you're putting through the door?
Well, then you need them to contact us and let us know. But again, this client web thing, if they make any adjustments, as soon as they make an adjustment, it's automatically transposed through to our user. Whereupon, if I'm holding the case, I'll get an email to refresh the details I've got on my iPad. So everything is done contemporarily, so there shouldn't be any time lag, as it were, maybe a day or so perhaps, while the time it takes them to press a button.
So there's no paperwork anymore, and you don't have any warrants or anything?
No. We're basically, it's paperless. Since the reform last year, I mean, we used to carry parking fines, for instance. That's a warrant to execution issued by Northampton County Court. We used to have to carry them, and if the person wants to see it, we have to supply it. We don't have to do that anymore. It's basically heading towards a paperless industry.
Well, yeah, but obviously, I'm a bit worried about that, because what's to stop any old thug pretending that they are you guys and getting an iPad?
Nothing's changed for council tax, because we never did, and we're allowed to carry liability orders. They are and always have been retained by the council.
No, but what is to stop any old thug going, you know, making up some documents and going to any house? What is to stop it, you know, any old thug doing that? Well, there's got to be some checks.
Nothing, but I mean, at the end of the day, our visits are sort of preempted by contact from our office, and indeed, obviously, prior to the referral to ourselves, the council. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not our debt. Well, it's your debt, but it's the council's money. It's not our money. Okay, so there is a chain there. We're not the start of the procedure. We're the end of it.
Yeah, but you're saying theoretically there's nothing to stop any old thug making up some.
Well, if you got, I mean, the only query you've got is the amount that you know that you owe some council tax. So obviously there is a history there. There's an audit trail there. I mean, if someone sent you a letter saying you owe £4,000 for some I don't know, an unpaid television that you bought 10 years ago, that's to be bloody good television, or say a car that you bought 10 years ago, then you'd know there's something wrong there, you know. But at the end of the day, there is an audit trail on this. There is a chain of command, as it were. And as I say, what you need to do is start at the root, which is the council. They will tell you exactly what to verify the amount. That they should be able to tell you exactly what period they're charging you for.
Right. I'm just concerned because, like I say, everyone's got a computer now. Anyone can make up any paperwork.
Well,
and go to knock on in.
It's big business, but luckily I've got nothing to do with it. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, this is for you to. This is not for me to explain. This is for you to find out with all due respect.
Yeah. Well, why did when I spoke to your head office, they said that you had a copy of the warrant and a copy of the liability order, though?
They wouldn't have. I mean, in these speeches, you get a name.
Oh. Pauline, was it? Was it Pauline? Pauline, was it? I don't know. It was Thursday.
I can find out who you spoke to, and I will give that phone up and give them a bulletin, because at the end of the day, they should know damn well that we don't keep a copy, that the office don't keep a liability order copy. So how should why would I get one? We'll get the date. That's what they meant. You have the date of the liability order, which I've got that. Right. But say we never have. I mean, I've been doing the job over 10 years, and we never have. We can't pay liability orders because the criminal document is signed by a magistrate in a criminal court. Right. So if I can get a copy of that, then I'll be able to find out who. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a different figure. Yeah, when I see the original liability, and I don't know who I'm going to have to go to. Again, you're going to have to find this out for yourself, mate. You know, because at the end of it, I can't help you with that. I mean, I can look at your account, but you won't give me account details, so I can't help you with that. So you need to go, you know. Well, I'll give you if you want to come to my address, and I'll have a look at your paperwork. I'll do that. Can I have a look at? I don't have. I just said you don't have any paperwork. But can I look at your iPad and get some details off that and see if is there any names at all on there? There's nothing on there that the council can't provide you with, because they're the one that furnished us with the details in the first place. Right. So you're going out collecting these thousands and thousands of pounds, and you don't have really any paperwork, and you've got ID, yeah. Oh yes. Yes. You have ID. Now that ID that you carry, could anyone feasibly make that with a printer and a laminator? How do you mean that the bailiff? Well, it's stamped by the court. It has a court stamp on it, my photograph and everything else. So yeah, but could I make that on my computer and laminate it up and do it? I think we don't need to discuss it. Yeah. I'm a very busy man here. Yeah. So anyone could do it, couldn't they? Anyone could just make up their own ID. I can make an ID up better than your ID. Do you know what I mean? It's my computer's, you know, what you can do now on a computer and just print it off and add a picture. Add a thing. So someone's got to be liable. This is what I'm saying. Somebody has to be liable because there's an £1,100 discrepancy here. Now somebody along the line is tried to make £1,100, and it's from my wife who's on her own. She's got a young child in the house. So I do need you to speak to the council on that, because. Well, I will do, but if their figure on their original liability order is £1,100 different to what you're collecting for, then I'm afraid, sir, you are going to have to be held liable for that, unless you've got somebody that's told you to do it. Yeah, so that's why you need a signature on a warrant, so you can go back. That warrant is your protection. You know what I mean? That warrant is your protection. So look, I was told to do this by this. It's a liability on another warrant, but nevertheless, you do need to speak to the council. I'm sure they'll explain fully what the discrepancy is. The liability order is the original debt.
for the reduction debt, but you still need a warrant to come on people's property.
No.
That's
we don't have warrants.
I know, but that's your you should have. That's your protection.
No, we don't. We have a bailiff's license on people's property endorsed by a judge every 2 years. Okay, so that is my authority to enter properties, etc., and carry out the duties and carry out. Now, the actual registration of the debt for council tax is a liability order. For things like parking fines, it's a warrant of execution. There's different registration processes for different types of debt. Now, because council tax is a criminal offence, not civil, it goes through the magistrate's court, and that's why it's a liability order.
Right, okay, cool. All right, well, thanks for that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to phone the council next. I'm going to get a bit more information. I'm going to do a bit of digging, and then I'll get back to you. Is that all right?
That's fine.
All right, thanks for your time, bud.
Okay, ta-ra now.
See you, bye-bye.